You know that feeling when everything in your life suddenly begins to click into place? Not in some fairy tale way, where problems magically vanish, but in a deeper sense, where you finally understand the game you've been playing, where the chaos starts making sense, where the patterns become visible, where you stop feeling like you're swimming upstream against an invisible current that's been pulling you back your entire life. If you clicked on this message, if something nudged you here at this exact moment, it's because you've crossed a threshold. The universe isn't toying with you anymore. It's not testing your patience, your faith, or your ability to handle disappointment. It's done preparing you. Now, it's ready to watch you perform. And that shift, the movement from preparation into performance, changes everything about how life responds to you. Most people spend decades waiting for their moment. They collect degrees, certifications, and skills like trading cards, convinced that if they just gather enough, someone will tap them on the shoulder and say, "Now it's your turn." They wait for permission that never comes. They wait for confidence that only shows up once you've already taken action. They wait for a perfect moment in a world built on imperfect timing. But something is different about you right now. You're not waiting anymore. Not because you've suddenly become fearless, or because all your problems are gone, but because waiting has grown more painful than moving. The comfortable prison of preparation has revealed itself for what it is, a prison. And no matter how cushioned a prison feels, it eventually becomes unbearable to anyone with a pulse. Here's what the universe has been noticing: how you respond when plans collapse, how you treat people when no one important is watching, how you speak to yourself when you're alone, how you show up when it's inconvenient, how you handle success without arrogance, and how you carry failure without letting it break you. And somewhere along the way, without even realizing it, you began passing these tests. Not perfectly, not without mistakes, but consistently enough that the fabric of reality shifted around you. Locked doors started opening. People once unreachable became accessible. Opportunities that seemed impossible began showing up at your feet. This isn't luck. This isn't coincidence. This is recognition. The universe recognizes its own. It recognizes the frequency of someone finally ready to receive what they've been asking for. And that frequency isn't about forced positive thinking or vision boards or trendy manifesting rituals. It's about becoming the kind of person who can carry what they've asked for without self-destructing. Think about the last 6 months of your life. Really think. How many times did you choose truth over comfort? How many times did you make a decision that scared you but felt right? How many times did you walk away from something that looked fine on paper but felt wrong in your gut? How many times did you stay when running felt easier? Those weren't random. Those were tests. And you've been passing them, often without knowing you were even being tested. Because the real test isn't about correct answers. It's about becoming the right version of you, the one who trusts intuition, the one who moves from integrity, the one who can hold both success and failure without losing balance. But here's the twist. The universe doesn't simply hand you your dream once you're ready. It gives you smaller versions of it so you can practice. It gives you safe spaces to fail so you can learn to fail forward. It offers you quiet wins so you can learn to succeed without ego. You've probably noticed it already. Your tolerance for nonsense has dropped. Conversations that once drained you now feel impossible. Situations you used to endure now suffocate you. People whose approval you once sought now seem lost in their own fear. That isn't judgment. That's outgrowing frequencies that no longer match your evolution. Your energy is shifting. Things that once excited you now fall flat. Things that used to scare you feel manageable. Goals that once seemed out of reach now feel inevitable. Not because they're easier, but because you are stronger. Stronger in a quiet, unshakable way that doesn't need to announce itself. Here's what most never understand. Readiness is not a feeling. It's not confidence. It's not having all the answers. Readiness is the absence of resistance. It's when you stop fighting the current and start flowing with it. When you stop grasping for control and instead show up fully to whatever is in front of you. Every heartbreak that didn't destroy you, every failure that taught you something, every moment you nearly quit but didn't, those weren't wasted. They were building you for this exact recognition. And recognition changes everything. The second you see yourself clearly, your posture shifts, your breathing deepens, your voice carries new authority, your presence fills a room differently. Others will notice before you do. Some will celebrate. Others will feel threatened because your evolution forces them to face their stagnation. But that's no longer your concern, because when the universe knows you're ready, your only job is to move when called, speak when words are needed, remain still when stillness is wisdom, and trust the intelligence that carried you here to keep guiding you forward. The signs are everywhere now, not the forced synchronicities people chase, but the subtle ones, the quiet whispers, numbers that keep following you, stray conversations that land at the exact moment you need them, books that open to the right page, strangers carrying the very message your soul was waiting for. You've also noticed how you stand differently in chaos now, where once you absorbed every emotion, every drama, every storm as if it were your own, you can now remain present without drowning. You can feel deeply without losing yourself. You can care without carrying. That's the stillness of someone who's found their center and refuses to be moved. Even your dreams are changing, not just your sleep dreams, though those have grown vivid, prophetic, like meetings with the hidden parts of you, but your waking dreams. They're clearer now, detailed, less like wishful thinking and more like blueprints. The universe is giving you glimpses, not to tease, but to prepare, because what's coming isn't just better circumstances. It's a completely different way of being alive. Here's what happens when the universe knows you're ready. It stops shielding you. It stops softening lessons. It starts treating you as the powerful being you've always been, but were too afraid to embody. Suddenly, opportunities multiply. People see you differently. Life begins feeling too small for who you're becoming. And that's terrifying because growth always involves a death. The death of who you thought you were. The death of old stories, old limitations, old fears. But this death isn't violent. It's like shedding clothes that no longer fit. At first, you resist because they're familiar. But eventually, you realize they restrict your breathing. They keep you from reaching, so you take them off. And suddenly, you're free. The universe has been waiting for you to strip away those old clothes, those limiting beliefs, those fears that kept you hidden. It's been waiting for you to step out as your full self, the version not everyone expects, but the one the world actually needs. Because that's what readiness is. It's realizing that the world doesn't need a more polished, more perfect version of you someday. It needs you, now. Imperfect, questioning, growing, real. Your specific medicine, your unique vision, your way of seeing and solving. The universe isn't asking you to become someone else. It's asking you to become more of who you already are. To stop apologizing for your depth, your intensity, your sensitivity. To stop dimming yourself for comfort. To stop playing small in a world that's starving for people willing to play big. And playing big isn't about being loud or domineering. It's about being fully present. It's about speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes. Choosing love, even when fear feels safer. Trusting the wisdom in your bones, even when logic argues against it. This is your time. Not because you've earned it, not because you've suffered enough, but because time itself is aligned with you now. The world is ready for what you carry, and deep down, you know it. You wouldn't be here reading this if you didn't. The universe doesn't misplace people. It doesn't send messages to those unprepared to hear them. If these words strike you differently than they would have 6 months ago, if something inside you has been nodding quietly, then that's your confirmation. You don't need another sign. You don't need more preparation. You don't need permission. This is your moment. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now, the universe knows you're ready. The only question is, do you?